into our second hour. Welcome back. I had Boomer Esiason on in hour number one. We talked about Denver getting beaten by San Diego. Hard to make an argument for any team in the AFC. I mean, it was Denver, and then they get beaten at home by a 500 team who came in with the 31st ranked defense, and they could get nothing going at all. Lowest point of the year for Denver. So if it's not Denver, then who is it? Who do you trust in the AFC? I'll tell you what. I don't trust anybody at all. But I have to make an argument. If I have to make an argument, maybe I'd make an argument, believe it or not, for Cincinnati. Now, to Boomer's point, the second I say Cincinnati, they'll lose to Pittsburgh. But who are you going to make an argument for right now? Kansas City, Denver, the Patriots, the Bengals. I'm going to say, if I got to pick amongst those teams, if I have to make an argument for one team in that conference, I pick Seattle. Oh, you mean the AFC? All right, fine. New Orleans. All right. Just kidding. Frisco. Got Martellus Bennett coming up next hour, but we'll talk some college football. I'm joined right now by the head football coach at USC. Just coming off 5 seasons at Washington, where he was 34-29. He had spent 7 seasons as an assistant at USC previously. He was named their head coach on December 2nd. Steve Sarkisian is my guest. Steve, nice to have you back. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jim. Thanks for having me in the jungle, man.
All right, Steve. Had a little bit of time on the job now. Steve, how does it feel?
It feels awesome. It really feels great. You know, I've grown up down here in Southern California. I've always held USC football program in such high regard, and then being here as an assistant for 7 years and now having the opportunity to come back as a head football coach here is humbling. I'm honored. But yet, man, I get up every day so pumped, so jacked to go to work and to make it happen. And you can here. You can make stuff happen. You can make great things happen. And so that's the attitude every day.
Steve Sarkisian, my guest. Steve, when you and I spoke back in October, you said that your goal was to stay at Washington longer than Don James, win one more national title than he did, and more conference championships than he did. What changed?
Well, this job opportunity changed. You know, in this profession, Jim, I think that you have a hard time. You can't predict the future. You can't think hypothetically, well, this job, that job. You take the days as they come. And at that time, I really felt great about what we were doing at Washington. And I feel great about the fact of today that program's in a better place than it was 5 years ago when I took that job. And I'm thankful to Scott Woodward for the opportunity and all that. But when USC presents itself to you, you have to look long and hard at it, and then if you feel like it's right, you have to take it. This is one of the elite jobs in the country. In my opinion, it's the best job in the country for all the reasons of being in Southern California, the history and tradition, recruiting, just all of the stuff that goes into it. So when it felt right, when it felt right and looked right, I took it. And it was a tough decision to make, but when I did, I realized I made the right one.
Steve, you said that when you met with Pat Hayden and other officials from USC, quote, I didn't come in with some PowerPoint and a bunch of booklets, end of quote. So if not that, then what did you come in with, and what was that conversation like?
Well, I came in with me. You know, I really went in to talk to them about the job and about the state of USC football and where I was at in my career and my beliefs and my philosophies. And you know, I think a lot of your resumes on film, a lot of your resumes on the academic success that your players have. A lot of your resume is what they do in the community. A lot of your resume is what you did, you know, here prior to leaving to be a head football coach. And so I really felt like this was more about me and who I was as a person and my personality and my philosophy on things. And then where they were at and what they were looking for and what they were trying to get out of this program. And I feel like as we came out of that talk that things really started to align in a sense of I could offer them and offer this program something that they were looking for. And I really felt like this program offered me a real challenge, but also an opportunity to go to a place where you could win multiple championships and do it on a regular basis.
USC head football coach Steve Sarkisian, our guest. You know, Steve, your arrival at USC, frankly, was greeted with a mixture of enthusiasm and some disappointment. I mean, in a sense, not exactly a dream reaction or arrival. What did you make of that?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I coach football every day. I come to work every day. It's not necessarily for the approval of everybody. As I said at the press conference, let's judge my hire 3 and 4 years down the road. And at that point, you can give me this